Alrighty, Emil Cadlick here with FootballDiehards.com. Tonight, we're having a Superflex draft that also has an additional flex. So you got the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then an additional flex of running back, wide receiver, tight end. And it's coming up pretty quick here. We've got it's a lot of good experts here. We've got the Huddle, who's running it, Big Guy Fantasy Sports. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. FF Today, USA Today, Audibles Podcast, Sportsbook Wire, I'm not sure who that is, Football Guys, and Fantasy Sharks, and maybe another one or two that I can't figure out. And by golly, if you can see up in the top left, Football Diehards has the number one pick. Not necessarily something that I really like to do, but I've got it, and I'm probably going to end up taking CMC when the draft starts. There's 11 people in the room right now, or 10 or 11. Not sure if the commissioner is in the draft, so we'll probably be waiting a few minutes before. The draft's supposed to start right now, but it always takes a few minutes before it starts. And I'm not sure how to put a queue on my fantasy league here. So anyway, we'll sit back and wait. And it's going to be interesting this year with Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes being a super flex, which of course means you can start one quarterback, plus your super flex, you can start either a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end. Hence, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks taken. My strategy here is to take a quarterback earlier than I usually do. Maybe take Wentz or somebody that in the middle of the area of when you get about 6 or 7 quarterbacks gone. Take one and then maybe take one the next round or the next round. I'd like to get 2. I've got a lot of sleeper quarterbacks. Tannehill is kind of late. Stafford, Daniel Jones. Those are my main sleeper quarterbacks, and Wentz I like to get. But you've got guys like Baker Mayfield who've got a lot of potential. Locke late. So you got a lot of opportunities here. And I'm still waiting. They're chatting away. Looks like we're getting close to the starter draft, but you never know how long it takes. It's like one person says all set, folks, and we may get started. And I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey with the number 1 pick. Okay, so I'm on the clock, it said. 1, 2, 3. It says 3, 2, 1. Hadn't put me on the clock yet. So I'm going to draft Christian McCaffrey that quickly. That is done. May take a couple seconds to show up on the board. Barkley goes next. I do not see it on the board. Let's take a look and see why that's not showing up. I may have to refresh the page and see if it shows up. Oh, sure enough. So we've already got 3 players taken. Look at there, Patrick Mahomes, the 3rd overall selection. Then Elliott goes. So we've had 3 running backs and 1 quarterback taken. People are already yapping away in the draft chat. So we're waiting right now on the FF Today. They're down to 26 seconds on their clock. Who do you think they will take? Oh, they took Alvin Kamara. So what's fun about the having the first pick or the last pick in the draft is you double up. So round 2, I'll have the last pick and the first pick in the 3rd round. I personally don't like that. Maybe I'm just not used to it. So I guess I'm going to have to get used to it. All right, waiting for Get Sports Info. He's down to 23 seconds. I'm not sure what the clock is. It's probably 1 minute. I wasn't paying attention. He took Michael Thomas, the first wide receiver off the board. And then quickly, the next guy took Lamar Jackson. He was sweating bullets. I bet he really wanted to. He took him so quickly. So here enough, we have the top 2 quarterbacks going in the first, 7 picks? That's quite fast. So the Superflex, I haven't really looked at an ADP. Ooh, Russell Wilson goes after him. So with the gap between the top 2 quarterbacks and the next few quarterbacks, Russell Wilson went awful quickly. I'd say that that's a sign that maybe quarterbacks are going to go quite fast. Okay, after Wilson went, Cook went, Devin Cook. So again, I have a long, long way before my next pick, but obviously I got to pay attention to what's going on. So as I enter the turn, we'll see how many quarterbacks go. I should obviously seriously consider a quarterback at the turn because I'm not going to get a pick till the bottom of the 4th round. Now, I could go quarterback, 4 and 5 if it gets crazy here. That's just way earlier than I anticipated. But I don't draft Superflex very often, so perhaps that's something I need to understand. Okay, Drake went. One of my favorite players. Obviously, I knew I wasn't getting at him. Oh, another quarterback, Deshaun Watson. So now we've already had 5 quarterbacks go, and we're not even into the first round. Devontae Adams goes after that. Not sure why it's taking a few minutes for the draft board sometimes can lag a little from the actual draft. Whoops, what did I just do? Sorry about that, guys. All right, there we go. So around the turn, you've got Devontae Adams and Miles Sanders. Sanders, that's pretty fast. You got the 7th running back taken in Sanders. And Mixon goes quickly after that. So Mixon with the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. So now we've got 5 quarterbacks going. I don't know if it's going to slow down here as we flip through the 2nd round. Obviously, I'm going to have to seriously consider taking a quarterback on the turn. And the question is, if I wait till the bottom of the 4th and the top of the 5th, could I get 2 solid quarterbacks at the 4th and 5th turn? Something I have to seriously think about, because I could take receiver, running back at 2-3 and wait and get my quarterback with the 4th and 5th pick. Kyler Murray just went. So if I take a chance at 4 or 5 and don't take, Hilary just went. Henry went. I missed that pick. Mixon, Henry, Kyler Murray, Hilary, and now Jacobs went. A lot of running backs are spinning off the board. Aaron Jones just went. And this is a PPR league. Waiting the FF today seems like he takes a long time before he makes decisions. Austin Eckler goes. We have 13 running backs that have gone so far in this draft. And there goes another one, Nick Chubb. So I have the number one running back, or let's hope it's the number one running back. I spent a lot of money on him. Two more picks before my double up. Prescott goes, which would have been a really nice pick. You know, a lot of times you have to adapt when the draft progresses. So, big guy has already got two quarterbacks, two of the top three quarterbacks. It's a huge position he's got. Only two running receivers have gone, and 14 running backs have gone, while 6 quarterbacks have gone. So, and then Tyreek Hill, which would have been a really nice pick for me, is now gone. I think I'm going to do something really crazy just as an example to see what can I get in the bottom of the fifth, the fourth and top of the fifth at quarterback. And right now take either a running back, receiver, or tight end. And of course, if you could subscribe while you're watching this, that'd be wonderful. Assuming this is actually, I didn't email it to everybody, so not a lot of people are showing up. All right, so Tyreek Hill. And then I have 2 picks. So my next running back is Gurley, Fournette, Gordon Bell, Jonathan Taylor. I'm not over enthused. I probably should either double up at wide receiver or take a quarterback and a wide receiver. Oh, it just said my time expired. That's exciting. I didn't notice. That was my pick. That's cute. So they're going to back it up. And I guess I'll take 2 wide receivers. I should be careful what I do here. Okay. All right, I took Julio Jones. And I like to find Hopkins. I can't find him in here. And I'll take Hopkins. So I'm going to do my crazy idea. Julio Jones and Hopkins, and I was in a bit of a hurry. Those are the 2 next guys on my cheat sheet. Although Galladay is another guy I like. And I didn't. So, wasn't paying attention, trying to do too many things at one time. So now is the long wait all the way down to the bottom of the 4th and the top of the 5th to see if I can get 1 or 2 quarterbacks. And hopefully I can get somebody like Wentz, Stafford, Daniel Jones, etc. And I'm very interested in doubling up. Okay, the 2 tight ends went Kelsey and Kittle. That was another thing I probably should have considered if I was paying attention to my clock. But I'm going to get a late tight end. I need to get these other positions filled. Josh Allen just went. Kittle, Allen, okay, here we go. I'm probably going to be taking some pretty skippy quarterbacks. We're going to see if this crazy strategy about doubling up at the top wide receivers is going to work for me. Wentz is already gone, so no way I'm getting Wentz. Watch me end up with guys like Cousins and Minshew. I'm really hoping that Daniel Jones or Stafford will last, and I probably won't. They probably won't, but perhaps guys like Roethlisberger, Mayfield won't be bad choices. Or in Goff. Everybody hates Goff, and he actually was a top 8 quarterback last year. Tom Brady just went. So this is quite interesting. Did I make a huge mistake here? Drew Brees just went. Pat Ryan just went. So this is going to be pretty painful to watch. Now, you guys watched it. It's quite entertaining, probably. Yeah, I'm not going to get anything. I probably should have taken one quarterback here. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of sleeper quarterbacks, as I mentioned. Amari Cooper just went. I'm not exactly excited about him this year. Five quarterbacks went in a row right in the middle of round 3. 3 managers already have 2 quarterbacks. Is that overkill for a Superflex? Or are these guys smart as can be? Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford. So I'm definitely going to have to pull a rabbit out of my hat, because we're not even at the end of round 3, and half of my sleepers, quote-unquote sleepers, are gone. Maybe Tannehill last. I can take Tannehill, Goff, or Baker Mayfield. Aaron Rodgers went. Melvin Gordon went. And Fournette went. So we've made it to the end of the 3rd round. 4 managers have 2 quarterbacks, and now 5 managers have 2, because Baker Mayfield just went. So there's only 2 managers that don't have quarterbacks. That's me and Draft Dominator, who's right next to me. So he'll probably take a QB, and I now have to decide whether I'm going to take 1 or 2 QBs around the turn. Guys like Minshew, his upside is not that high. I don't think he can have big games, although maybe he'll improve. If you look at his stats from last year, I didn't really see. All right, Locke just went. That was a deep pick. David Johnson went. Todd Gurley went. Zach Ertz is gone. Please take non-quarterbacks right now. I need anything to end up. Of course, that guy already had 2 quarterbacks. All righty. So we have 2 more people who have 1 quarterback and 1 guy who's got 2. So I expect potentially 3 quarterbacks to go, which leaves me with nothing. I'm not so sure if this worked. People don't like Tannehill, so that he may last, and people don't like Goff, and he was the 8th quarterback last year, so hopefully those 2 guys will last for me. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay wide receiver, just went. And Galladay lasted forever. He was a guy I was seriously considering. Decided to go with Hopkins instead of Galladay. I've had Galladay in several drafts, and I decided to just kind of flip around. 2 more before my pick. Wow, going to be dicey, guys. Connor just went, running back Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger just went, and it's my pick. So I'm going to have to take Tannehill and Goff. Those are my two highest position players, quarterbacks. So there goes Goff. And I'm just kind of glancing. You know, Rivers is an interesting guy, but Tannehill had such a great year last year. I'm going to draft him also. So there's my two quarterbacks. Bang, bang. You know, and that's, you know, if my theory was to get one of these two of these 4 or 5 guys right in there, Stafford, Tannehill, Jones, Goff, Roethlisberger, Mayfield, I succeeded. Do I feel good about it right now? No. But Goff was a top 8 quarterback last year, and Tannehill actually was higher than that. So if these guys can finish, if I can get 2 quarterbacks in the top 8, that's not bad. I mean, that's really not bad. So now I have 2 top receivers. I got the top running back. And if I have 2 top 8 or 9 quarterbacks, perhaps that's not a bad start to this draft. A lot of draft strategy is understanding the fact that you can't have everybody. You can't have all the top positions. You got to find reaches. You got to find people that have opportunity to be higher up. Quarterback is a good way to do that because there's a lot of guys that we've discussed here in the middle rounds, in the middle area of 10 to 17 in the rankings. However, with Superflex, things happen a lot quicker. All right, Chris Carson went, running back Seattle, and Juju Smith just went way early compared to some of the people that went. A lot of people have him high. I don't have him as high. I didn't like what I saw last year. He just didn't seem to be able to get open. Kirk Cousins went, so we have yet another quarterback going. And, you know, I ought to seriously take a third quarterback at some point. Interesting that Draft Dominator has 1 quarterback and did not take a second quarterback. And we're going to see FSP just took his second quarterback with the 4th pick in the 5th round. Let's see what FF Today and Get Sports Info does, because they only have 1 quarterback. And pretty much everybody else has 2 except for Football Guys at the at number 12 and Draft Dominator. All right, so Jonathan Taylor went. Another excellent pick. Raheem Mostert just went. I like him, but it's a real issue there. Cooper Kupp just went. And again, it's a long way to my pick. Long way to my pick. So I'm really in a position to do a lot of different things. I don't think I should take a third quarterback. I could pretty much go anywhere. There's a lot of receivers left. The running backs are gone. How many running backs do we have gone? We've got 10 receivers gone. We've got 22 running backs and 20 quarterbacks. A tight end could be an interesting pick. Mike Evans just went. Looks like there's going to be a semi-run on receivers probably as we loop around. But I have 2 solid ones, very solid receivers. And at running back, you've got guys I like, or Akers, who's probably going to be gone. Swift's going to be gone. There's a lot of guys. I could consider Ronald Jones or Dobbins kind of or even Hunt if they're left. Akers just went while I was talking about him. And I may head down and somebody took him. Odell Beckham went. Garoppolo went. Keenan Allen went. They're starting to draft fairly quickly. Allen Robinson went. And we are looping by. So 5 receivers went in the last 8 picks. We got the football guys took Garoppolo and doubled up on their quarterback. So now there's only, well, ironically, FF Today has only have 1 quarterback, and Draft Dominator in front of me has 1 quarterback. So we'll see whether there's a couple guys with 1 also FF Today and Get Sports Info. The huddle's down to 10 seconds in his own draft. TJ Chark. I think Le'Veon Bell went also. I don't really consider. So the question is, do I need my second running back? On this turn, and then maybe I can get a tight end also. Calvin Ridley just went, so take them receivers because I've already got my 2. Mark Andrews went. That would have been a really nice selection for me at the bottom of the round, but that's asking a lot. 4 tight ends have gone. So I got Waller, Higbee, etc. And I like both those guys as my next 2 tight end selections or positions. DJ Moore is still available unless I messed up and didn't notice him being taken. Oh, A.J. Brown. Gosh, I can never get A.J. Brown. For some reason, like him, even though they run the ball so much, Cam Newton just went. That was, let's take a look real quick here. Let's refresh the pick board. That was his second quarterback. So he's got Tom Brady and Cam Newton. A funny combo there. Let's see if FF Today is going to take a second quarterback. So right now I'm looking at Swift, a tight end, or DJ Moore. And I have 2 picks. Wow. Tough choices. Do I go for a wild card tight end and let him go and take Swift and DJ Moore? Joe Burrows is gone. I mean, let's take a look here. 23 quarterbacks, so everybody's got doubled up except for 1. Is there anybody I like? Let's see, does Bridgewater go? I just don't feel like a second quarterback here, but I think Bridgewater's still available. A.J. Green and Adam Thielen are going. Let's take a look. Maybe DJ Moore already went and I just didn't notice, which would not surprise me. Yeah, I'm sure he's went. Nope, DJ Moore's still available. Okay, Green went. 1 more pick before me. I think I'm going to take Moore and perhaps Swift. Oh, DJ Moore just went before me. Ah, God. Wouldn't you know it, huh? All right. Sorry, guys, a little slow with my reaction. I got 30 seconds, so I'm going to take Swift as my second running back. The question is, do I... okay, let me let it go a little bit here. Because I could take Woods, I could take Sutton, or I could take one of these tight ends. So there goes my Swift pick. So the question is, I've got 50 seconds to decide whether to go with Higbee, Waller, or take like a Parker or Woods. 30 seconds, guys. I could take Sutton too. I don't like any of this. I'm going to take Woods. I'm going to try Woods out. I haven't drafted him a lot. They've lost Cooks there. He could end up having some good games. So I'm going to go with Woods. Even though I have Parker just ahead of him, I'm going to go with Woods. So now I have three wide receivers, 2 quarterbacks, and 2 running backs. So now I've really let the tight end position go. Like I said before, you can't have everything. So I'm going to expect not much left at tight end at the bottom of the 8th round. If there's anything any good, perhaps I can get it. Ronald Jones. It's a good pick. I hit him right with Swift. Kareem Hunt, another nice pick. There's a lot of guys here. Maybe I should have gone 2 running backs here and then gone for a different receiver. It's probably would have been a good idea. So I like both those picks. Singletary, big run on running backs here. Catching those last few spots. Dobbins would be interesting. He's not going to be there. He's going to be gone. So DJ Moore got right before my pick. That hurt. I'd like to get Zach Moss. We'll see where he lasts. Could end up trying to get him in the 8th or the 9th. I don't know if I could wait longer because of the big loop. You have to look ahead. That would be a nice number 3 running back. And I got to find a tight end here. It's not going to be pretty. And there goes Waller. I'm sure Higbee won't make it. If Higbee makes it to the bottom of the 7th or bottom of the 8th, I'll take him. But I don't think that's going to happen. All right. Diggs is gone. Somebody I'm just completely avoiding this year. The message board is quiet. People are thinking Mark Ingram goes. It's kind of a confusing thing with Baltimore picking Dobbins. You wonder what they're thinking. Is he just a backup? Or a lot of people think Dobbins within a few weeks will be ahead of Ingram and being a fairly productive rookie running back. Sutton goes for Denver. Oh, and one of my favorite players, Terry McLaurin, who I can never seem to get because people take him before I have him ranked. Not sure why I just don't like the 1st or the 12th position in drafts. Just feel like I just sit here and watch all these players go by. But you do get to pick 2 at the same time, or 2 in a row. So there's the good and the bad. So I got 2 quarterbacks and a Superflex. I got 2 running backs. I have 3 receivers and no tight ends. And here's Gardner Minshew is just gone. Now we have how many? 24 quarterbacks gone, and that guy actually has 3 quarterbacks. He's got Watson for Houston. He's got Daniel Jones, and he's got Gardner Minshew for Jacksonville. That's Fantasy Sharks. Looks like he's the first to take the 3rd quarterback. And if you really are thinking about 3 quarterbacks, you got to really plan it, because they're going to go down to nothing fairly quickly. You're going to be looking at guys like Haskins, David Carr, Foles, Fitzgerald, or Fitzpatrick. It's pretty ugly. All right, let's see what we got. Speaking of quarterbacks, we got James White that just went, running back, New England. Sam Darnold, New York Jets quarterback, which is probably a nice pick there. Jordan Howard is gone. Phillip Rivers is gone. So the quarterbacks are just flying off the handle. Derek Carr just went. We got triple quarterbacks. That may be a little bit much for me. Philip Lindsay just went. Teddy Bridgewater still available. He's going to throw a lot of balls to CMC or MCM. All right. Six more picks to my pick. So if we do a little counting, Hilton's still available, which scares me. Metcalf, Lockett, and we also have Hollywood Brown. That's an interesting perspective. Dobbins is still available. And, of course, Higbee's still available. But they may not be available very long. Metcalf just went, and Lockett. So goodbye the top two receivers for Seattle. Four more picks before mine. So I got some serious thinking. I've got Higbee. I've got Dobbins. I got Hollywood Brown. Wow. Oh, and also, don't forget about Parker, who just went, so I don't have to worry about him. Marlon Mack has just gone. Well, guys, I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to kind of skip on Hilton for now. I'm just really kind of worried about him staying healthy this year. It's already got there goes Dobbins, so I don't have to worry about Dobbins. So now I have Higbee and Hollywood Brown on my list. One player before me. If both those stay, I'll take those two. If not, I got to seriously look at maybe sneaking all the way down and taking Moss. So I have three guys available on my list. And Bridgewater went, who would have been a nice pick. So let's go to wide receiver and let's go get Brown. Probably considered a reach at this point. It takes me 50 seconds just to find these guys on this cheat sheet. Okay, Marquez Brown, Hollywood Brown. He's pretty much next on my list other than Hilton, and I'm just going to let low on Hilton. So there goes Brown. Now I'm going to go to tight end. And I'm going to take Higbee. He's my next one. My next rank tight end is Higbee. He's a reach, but I'm going to take him anyway. If I can find him on this list. Okay. All right. So I left myself a little short at running back. So I got Hollywood Brown and Higbee. So I got to seriously think about, my number 3 quarterback is almost a wasteland. Haskins may actually be an interesting guy, but they're not going to last. These quarterbacks are just going to get sucked up. Marquez Brown, Hollywood Brown, is kind of a wild card. The coaching staff said some incredible things about him. Say he's going to be the breakout player this year on the team, like Lamar Jackson was last year. And, the running propensity on that team scares me that Hollywood's going to be able to, maybe he's a better best ball player. He's my fourth wide receiver. Tyler Boyd just went. I got Higbee, who really is one of my sleeper tight ends, and I got him in the beginning of the 9th round, which actually is not bad. It's probably because of all the quarterback play. He lasted that long. Typically, he goes in the 6th, but since we've got an extra 15, which is over a round, is maybe a reason why. Edelman just went. Is Hilton really there? Hilton's still available. Jarvis Landry, a nice pick. There's still some quality. Oh, and then Jared Cook just went at tight end. Now you can start two. Maybe more than 2 tight ends. I forgot now. Because it's a double flex, so you got 1 tight end, and you're going to be starting a quarterback though most of the time on that super flex. But then you can also start. It has another flex, so you can start 2 tight ends. So I need to keep that in mind as the draft progresses. Landry went, Jarvis Landry. It's a fine pick, a guy who just keeps producing, yet doesn't seem to be considered that high. Tariq Cohen. This draft's moving quite well. It's an 18-round draft, and we're already, getting close to halfway. 41 minutes in, minus a couple minutes of waiting for a few people. So do you listen to head coaches or do you not? Well, in this case, I'm taking Hollywood Brown, listening to the head coach. And Hollywood Brown had some fascinating, wonderful plays last year and had an injury pretty much the whole year. So he could really have a great year. Gronkowski just went, other than the fact that they run the ball so much. So there's a bit of a conflict there. Brandon Cooks just went, so another nice pick. Those are nice, solid picks. He's going to get some targets this year. I personally don't like the guy. I just don't like him. However, he's going to have opportunities. Be interesting to see if Fuller lasts all the way. Antonio Gibson went fairly early. He's a hot player. I don't have him that high on my cheat sheet, so I haven't been taking him that much. And finally, T.Y. Hilton goes. That's a really nice pick, but at the same time, a risky pick. But that late down, that's the, here, just a second. Let me run the calculation. The 33rd wide receiver is T.Y. Hilton. Kind of hard to pass him up at that point. Michael Gallup goes right after T.Y. Hilton. Wonder how many people are going to triple up on quarterback before it gets to me. Not that I have anybody that I'm just in love with as my 3rd quarterback. Wow, what a mess. All right, tight end goes. Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, an incredibly productive tight end, went healthy. And then goes Zach Moss, just went. So you can't have them all, but I missed on Moss. So I only have 2 running backs right now, so it's probably my weak link at this point. Kind of wanted to get Moss on the rebound. So now I'm going to have to look at other strategies, which I don't have a lot of. I could take Peterson and back him up with Antonio Gibson, but Antonio Gibson already went. Christian Kirk just went. Now I have to look deep into this lineup here and see if there's some sneaky plays. Maybe a Hyde late, because he's probably going to get some playing time. Yeah, I really wanted Moss. But obviously I didn't want him that much because I let him go. I took Marquez Brown. I took my tight end instead of Moss. I got a starting tight end. Hopefully Peterson just went. It's going to be hard to get a quality number 3 running back. And it's also going to be hard to get a quality number 3 quarterback. At quarterback, I may just have to wait to see who pops up in week 1 as a starter. But I may not even have that chance. These people may take people like Foles and Taglia, whatever his name is for Miami. Matt Breida, which actually is a good solid pick at running back for Miami. Sterling Shepard, one of my concern players with all those concussions last year. Deontay Johnson, who I seem to never get. I guess I have to move him up on my rankings. I wonder if Fuller's going to make it to me. I don't think Fuller's going to make it to me, guys. I don't think so. 5 more picks. Will Fuller make it to me, and do I want to pick him? Do I want to go for somebody like Haskins? Or do I try and get somebody at running back? Maybe DeAndre Washington's not a bad idea. All right. Wish I had more time on the clock because it's going to take me some thinking. Get Sports Info's down to 10 seconds. Maybe Washington or Henderson is not a bad play here at running back. Emmanuel Sanders goes. I've got 4 receivers, so I really probably should seriously look at the running back. Maybe I had to take Fuller, assuming he's still there, and a running back. Four more picks. Melvin Jones is still available. I like Slayton for the Giants, but you can probably get him later. But then again, I'm at the long loop, so draft is currently paused. Looks like we get Sports Info. Oh no, not him. I'm not sure what's going on. We're paused for some reason. All right. So Crowder's going to go off the board. That's a nice pick. Guy's gotten tons of catches last year. I forget what it was. It was 80 some odd catches, 120 targets. 4 more picks before mine. Hayden Hurst just went tight end Atlanta. FSP's on the clock. Here's where you start focusing on a player. I'm focusing right now on Fuller. And if he goes, I'm going to be really disappointed, which is what you don't want to do. You always want to have a guy. Like if I don't get Fuller, maybe I take Slayton, which is probably early, but I go around the loop. That's my next guy on my cheat sheet. Or I could go Henderson, Washington, and double up at running back if I don't have somebody else if Fuller goes. You know, is Fuller going to get double teamed, or is Brandon Cooks going to get double teamed? All right, 35 seconds with one pick before me. Trubisky just went, so it's my pick. So let's make sure Fuller's still here. Yep, he is here. So it's really tempting to take Henderson and Washington. Obviously, nothing's a sure bet, but Fuller, you know, if he can stay healthy, he's going to get a lot of opportunities. So I'm going to pick Fuller, and then I'm going to go see. I'm probably going to take Washington because you're dealing with a rookie at running back for Kansas City, and DeAndre Washington can end up really performing well. So I'll leave Henderson there. Somebody will take him in the next pick. So I'm going to take DeAndre Washington with my first pick in the 11th round. I feel pretty good about that. You know, Washington should get some play with the rookie there. He could end up being quite productive in Kansas City. And Fuller is a good pick. Long way around. Here we go. The weight. So as you see here, draft dominators took third quarterback. Fourth quarterback, Foles. So I don't know if that's crazy. That seems crazy to me. Henry went for Los Angeles Chargers at tight end. So this man's got Fuller now. You know, Trubisky and Foles, maybe he's hoping one of those is a starting quarterback. But you've put a lot of real estate in having a quarterback for the bye week of Roethlisberger and Bridgewater. A lot of real estate on a roster. You got 7 more picks. You got to fill starting positions. You got 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs, and a tight end. Okay. More tight ends are going. We had Goddard just went. There's a lot of tight ends left that I probably ought to seriously consider in the next pick. Somebody's yelling. I assume it's the draft board. Maybe you guys can't hear that. Yeah, let me turn shouty off here on my... Hopefully you guys didn't hear that this whole time. Madison just went for FF today. Nice pick. And also, you know, the Malcolm Brown for Los Angeles Rams could be somebody to take late because, you know, he could be starting. He could be getting goal line stuff, but he's not necessarily an upside player. Oh, what do we have here? Marvin Jones, who in my opinion was late. He should have gone before then. Of course, I skipped him. I took Fuller instead of Jones. And I have Jones a couple picks before. Just there's something about Fuller, man. If he could just stay healthy. With Hopkins gone, the guy could have a big year. So I'm looking for upside as opposed to Marvin Jones. And I'm probably wrong. I'm going to go to all positions. Deebo Samuel, that's an interesting guy who, if he only is missing maybe 1 to 4 games, could end up being a very good pick at this point. Looks like we undid the Marvin Jones pick for some reason. So I guess somebody picked the wrong player. He wanted Jerry. So Jerry Judy just went. So I have to reopen Marvin Jones. He's still available. And guys I like the Slayton for the Giants. I don't know really when I can get him. And Deebo Samuel's an interesting guy. If he can come back healthy sooner than we think, could be a really nice pick. I've only got 3 running backs and 5 receivers. Not a horrible balance, but it'd be nice to get one more running back that I feel comfortable about. And I don't know if you can get one of those this late in the draft. Okay. McCole Hardman for Kansas City is gone. And man, if that guy could get some additional playing time, what a talent. It's just, what do you think? Oh, a couple other guys. Tevin Coleman went. A big run here that I missed. Latavius Murray, who had a fantastic year last year for New Orleans. But if Kamari is healthy, what's going to happen? Hey, another tight end goes off the board. Gesick. So you got Dole, you got Fan, you got Hawkinson, you got Hooper, you got Geno Smith. You got some guys, even Herndon, who you can get late, is starting to look better in camp for the Jets, even though he completely mentally flopped last year. All right. Jalen Reagor for Philadelphia went. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Why do I like Slayton for the Giants? I like Slayton for the Giants. Kerryon Johnson just went. You know, what's interesting is the Henderson guy, who I was considering taking last round, has made it all the way through round 11. I'm not saying that, he shouldn't have, but he'd be a tempting player here coming up in the bottom of the 12th for me, assuming he's available. I've got him. I got a second tight end. Carlos Hyde at some point would probably be a valuable player. And I've got Slayton and maybe Deebo Samuel. So we got those 5 players that we're looking at here. Jefferson's a good pick, too. I keep forgetting about him. I think I have him too low on my cheat sheet for Minnesota. I'm assuming we're going to have to take a kicker and a defense in this league. Let me look. Yeah. So basically I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks minus 2. So I only have 5 more skill position players. And CeeDee Lamb just went. A lot of receivers in Dallas. 6 more players before my double up. Should I take a tight end on the turn, or should I take Henderson and a receiver? If somebody took Henderson, then I won't have to worry about it. Oh, Darius Slayton just went. That sucks. Pardon my language. That would have been nice. So I've got 5 more skill position players. Vaughn just went at running back, who I'm kind of staying away from. I got 5 more positions, and I should take a tight end, 2 wide receivers, and a running back, and then maybe a second quarterback. I like to try and plan out the end of the draft, despite chaos occurring most of the time. So Slayton slipped through my fingers. Oh, Hawkinson went. I missed that pick. He's an interesting wild card, even though he said his ankle's not 100%. And Doyle is kind of your boring guy who's probably pretty good. Boston Scott went for Philadelphia. That's a nice pick. Neil Harry was another nice pick. Hines goes. It's getting close to my pick here. One more before me. So I've lost my receiver. Not that there's more I can look at. You also have Preston Williams. And I'm looking at either Dole or Fant at tight end. There's other tight ends I can look at. All right, Duke Johnson, and now it's my pick. All right, I'm going to take, let me start with Henderson. I'm just going to take Henderson, assuming he's still available. Mark him. So now I've got 4 running backs. That may be all I end up with. Let me click the draft button. And now, Doyle, Fant. I kind of like Preston Williams. Samuel would be a kind of an interesting character. I've got 50 seconds. Do I take Samuel? Does he score enough? I'm getting him extremely late if he can stay healthy. Or do I go for a Preston? What round is this? It's 13th round. I'm going to go with Debo, and let's hope he comes back healthy. So there we are. Not really where I wanted to go or who the guys I like per se. I got Henderson a whole 22 rounds, 22 picks later than I was thinking of taking him. Not bad. So now I'm rooting for Debo Samuel to come back healthy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers. And 4 running backs. Not much running backs left. I've got guys I could take, but we'll see how it goes. A.J. Dillon, what a monster of a player, is off the board for the Green Bay Packers. Well, now here's a fun one. Bryce Love, a nice wild card pick, a little earlier than I thought it would be thrown out there, but he could be a starter for the Washington Redskins. Brandon Oik, or however you pronounce it, another player who could be playing a lot with Debo out for a while. God, what a long way to my next pick. Now, these particular managers, we call themselves experts, we call ourselves experts. You know, we're in the 13th round here, and you have not seen a defense go, unless I missed it, nor a kicker. And that's pretty standard for how they philosophy of drafting. Paris Campbell goes for Indianapolis. Pardon my scratching on my cheat sheet. Be nice to see Bryce Love in this preseason, even though there's no games. Hopefully we can see him on NFL or somewhere. I'd really like to see him run just to get a feel for it from eye to eye. All right, we've been drafting for basically an hour, and there goes 2ET. And Haskins is still available. He's my next highest quarterback. Let's see if I got any coffee left. Oh, I got coffee left too. Tony Pollard back up for Elliott. Of course, Elliott has already had C19, but it's probably not a bad thing to back him up. Let's see if he's the guy who picked. No, he's not. So he's not really backing him up. He's taking him as a quality player. Tyrod Taylor. Just an insane number of quarterbacks. We have got 32 quarterbacks gone. One guy who's got 4. A bunch of 3s. I've only got 2. 5. 5 teams only have 2. I bet Haskins goes before my next pick. Deshaun Jackson, we'll see whether he just went, what did he play? 1 game last year and then never came back. It just totally scares me. Obviously, historically great talent, and I just can't take him. I just can't take him. Curtis and Samuels for Carolina just went before Deshaun Jackson. I wonder if Preston Williams is going to last. According to my little map, I have a tight end, a quarterback, and a wide receiver to take before my kicker and defense. Larry Fitzgerald, Golden Tate, then Tavisk, Chenault, the Jacksonville rookie, who's a very good player. That's a good pick. I'm going to find him on my cheat sheet to delete him. There he is. And then we had Larry Fitzgerald. And then the guy I was talking about earlier, Doyle, which would have been a nice tight end. And I let him go and took Deebo Samuels instead. Again, another one of my tight ends that I could have considered. I still like Jonnu Smith, even Irv Smith Jr. from Minnesota, Herndon for the Jets, Ian Thomas. There's still guys who could end up really productive tight ends this year. So that's kind of why I let those two guys go. And another tight end, Sternberger for the Green Bay. We're probably going to end up with everybody with at least two tight ends. That was the 18th tight end taken. Okay. All right, so a lot of picks before me. And again, I'm looking at, which I probably should write these on another piece of paper, just in case I get confused, which is real easy for me. Okay, Mike Williams just went. So we have Robbie Anderson, who I don't necessarily love, but there's always a point. Preston Williams, who's kind of a guy I've been taking a few times. Maybe Hawkins at quarterback. May skip on supposedly not taking any more running backs, which may or may not happen. Okay, Smith went, Junior Smith for tight end. Maybe I won't get a tight end. I wonder if Hooper's a decent tight end. Obviously, he's a great player, but, going to Cleveland. A lot of mouths to feed. Jarwin just went. Dallas Cowboy. 4 more picks before mine. Right now, probably the two guys I'm looking at the most is Preston Williams, wide receiver for Miami, and Hawkins, quarterback. So those are the two guys I'm looking at right now. Hyde's available. I don't like him, but then again, he's going to play with Penny, who's out for a while. Tons of receivers still available. Pittman went. For Indianapolis. 6. Pittsburgh Steelers. We finally have two defenses going in a row. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I'm going to let that go. 1 pick before my pick. And let me queue up. Well, let's queue up Hawkinson. The guy before me's got 4 quarterbacks, so I'm pretty sure Hawkins will make it to me. He's got 1, 2, 3. He's only got 3 receivers, so you would think he's going to take a receiver here. And he did. He took Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, Las Vegas. So I'm going to take Dwayne Haskins for my 3rd and final quarterback. And then I guess I'm going to take Preston Williams, assuming he's still available. And then I'm just going to see about tight end and just see what falls in my lap. So here goes Dwayne. Let's go to wide receiver. And I don't see Preston Williams. Oh, there he is. We get Sammy Watkins, Bouchard Perryman, Anthony Miller, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to go for the upside in Preston Williams. You also have Alshon Jeffrey, who's hurt. There's a lot of issues there. All right, now I have 3 more players left. So I've got a kicker and a defense and somebody. And that somebody probably should be a tight end. Now, I could wait till the season starts. And if there's some guy who shows up in week 1, put a little higher bid on him and get my second tight end. You can start 3 tight ends. Typically 2, since you have the Superflex, you're probably going to be starting a quarterback. So it's probably smart to have 3 tight ends. And I've kind of left the boat on that one. I could take another running back. I've got, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 wide receivers, 4 running backs, one of them being Christian McCaffrey. Higgins just went. And Hyde just went, the guy we keep talking about. Anthony Miller went. He had a nice year last year. If this guy could stay healthy, he could be a very productive wide receiver. My pen has stopped working. Kind of hard to mark players out. Okay, Tucker went. We switch pins. Nice kicker. So we're starting to see the kickers and the defenses. Jamie Winston went. USA Today. That's his 3rd. Now that's an interesting pick. Let's see if he backed up. Yeah, he has Breeze. So he backed up Breeze. And then the tight end, Devin Asiasi for New England just went. They had an opt-out player, tight end, so they're a little thinner at tight end. They meaning New England. And we have Lazard, which is a fine pick. Nothing wrong with that. Somebody's got to be the number 2 wide receiver in Green Bay. Hey, we got another defense to go. Now let's see. I'm in the bottom, right? So I had the first pick. So I'm going to have the last pick. So I may go defense kicker in 16 in the bottom of the 16th, the top of the 17th, and then just see what lands in my lap at tight end or somewhere. We've had 21 tight ends, so if everybody takes 2 tight ends, there's only 3 more that are going to be taken. So you got Hooper, you got Smith Jr., which nobody takes, you've got Herndon, you've got Ian Thomas at Carolina, you got some guys there, even Knox at Buffalo. There's some guys there that are left that are viable. All right. Sammy Watkins goes. I probably don't even need to mark receivers anymore. And Damon Harris, kind of a wild card for New England. If the chips fall right, he could end up having some carries this year. Lamar Miller for New England. I think that was just kind of a depth pick for preseason. I don't really give him much of a chance. But with a crazy guy like Belichick, you never know. And Hunter Renfrow, I like that guy for Las Vegas last year. It's just the addition of what they've got this year. It's kind of hard for me to draft him. But he did show some spark last year. And not surprised he is taken. What's next? New England Patriots defense. The defenses are starting to go. So let's go to my defense. Let's see what's left. Because I kind of like the Bears I like Baltimore, and I don't see them there. So they must have gone, and I must not have been paying attention. Yeah, Ravens went, so they're not available. Kind of like the Ravens. So you got Denver and Chicago that are nice defenses. Tampa Bay just went. So I'm looking at Denver, Chicago, the Rams, and the Chargers at the defenses. 6 more picks before me. And it's still a little surprising that there's this many defense. Although it's, 6 defenses? It's not that many defenses, but... Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think way back when I had them and just they destroyed me. And then I finally cut them and they had a huge game. And that's the way fantasy football goes. 5 more picks before my defense and kicker. I like Elliott for Philadelphia. Got him ranked 6th. I may just scoop him. There goes Robbie Anderson. Nice pick. 4 more picks. Oh, McKinnon. I forgot about McKinnon. That's actually a nice pick. He's got a chance. That, even if he makes it, though, the problem with that team is they still divide that position up. But in this round, 16th round, that's not a bad idea. Butker went, another one of my favorite kickers. That would have been probably a smarter pick then. And then Zerline just went. 1 pick before me. These people are taking kickers. Of course, they both had defenses, so they're loaded up. They got them a little bit early. So do I take the Broncos or do I take Chicago? The reason I would take Rams is they may be ahead a lot. Man, tough choice. Well, they made my choice for me. They just took Chicago. So I'm going to take Denver. Mark that off. I'm going to take Denver. And now let's, got to make the pick. And now I'm going to flip over to place kickers. You got Lutz, who's a great pick. I still like Elliott. I just got a funny feeling about that team recovering and Elliott getting a lot of opportunity. So I'm going to take Elliott. And now I wait to the bottom of the draft. We'll see if there's a tight end left. And again, where was that last tight end? It was Zieza or whatever, the 21st tight end. So basically, we're going to go through every team but me, and somebody who needs a tight end is going to take a tight end. Let's see if anybody. We've got Get Sports Info has 2 tight ends. Does everybody have 2 tight ends? Everybody has. How could that be with 21 players? That doesn't sound right. Okay, maybe there was more than that many tight ends gone. Okay, I'm confused. Brayan Edwards went for Las Vegas. That's a nice pick. Hamler for Denver, nice pick. Lutz went. So these are all nice picks. I'm still sitting here trying to count the tight ends. The problem is defense has got a similar color. That's my problem. No, I don't believe this. What's going on here? All right. Sports Book Wire has 1 tight end. He's got to take a second one, unless he loves that Sternberg. And that's it. He's the only guy without 2 tight ends, which doesn't sound right because the numbers don't work. Chase Edmonds just went. Tennessee's defense just went. I could always take a receiver or running back instead of this tight end that I haven't taken yet. Let's go to tight ends and see what we got. Hooper must have gone because I don't see him, which makes a lot of sense that the guy should have gone. Yeah, there's no way Hooper would be here this late. Yeah, there he went. He went in the 12th round. So Hooper's gone. So really, Irv Smith Jr., Ian Thomas, and Henderson, maybe Eric Ebron. I don't really like Olsen for Seattle personally. Not much left. New Orleans defense just went. Young Ho Koo, Atlanta's kicker, went. James Washington, actually that's not a bad pick. Wide receiver Pittsburgh went to Huddle. Colts defense went. So we're rocking and rolling here. Looks like this chart is at the bottom. Let's see if it shows it. If not, I'm going to have to move that up. I can barely see them. Let me move that up. Okay, that's not working. Oh, let's try this. There you go. You can see those players. All right, Fairbath went, Gay went, so here goes some kickers to fill rosters. Dan Bailey just went. You know, Hearn's a complete wild card. Ian Thomas for Carolina, he's got chances. He's going to be the guy. Irv Smith's still a number 2 tight end. I've got to make the assumption that he's going to beat out Rudolph. And I'd probably like to have one of those guys on my roster just in case they blow up in week 1. Armstead may be an interesting guy as a backup for Leonard Fournette. Another Corey Davis went. Matt Prater went. 6 before the last pick of the draft, which is mine. Josh Lambo went for Jacksonville. And notice, you know, I took my kicker and defense 1 round earlier. Some guys did a lot more. LaShawn McCoy went for Tampa Bay. I don't really think there's much there this year. And I hate to go to the bottom to get my kicker. These guys are pretty wise. Another method I do sometimes is I don't take a kicker because I know there's going to be some free agent before the season starts. I just decided I didn't want to do that in this league. Maybe a 10-team league is a little easier. You know, Brian Hill's an interesting pick too, just as a backup to Gurley, assuming he's the backup. Kelly also for Los Angeles Chargers. Finally, Sony Michel goes. Yeah, I wonder if I had to take Kelly. Notice how I changed my mind? There's Kelly. I may take Kelly just for the heck of it. I can wait till week 1 and see what happens. All right, just a few more picks for my pick. Whoa, wait a minute. It's mine. Oh, somebody took Chris Herndon. How do you like that? All right, I'm going to take Joshua Kelly, running back for Los Angeles Chargers as a total wild card. And I'm going to have to take a second tight end at some other time. Ian Thomas, Irv Smith Jr., those guys could end up being productive players. So one tight end in a Superflex, double flex league, probably not the smartest move in the world. But I hope you enjoyed that. It lasted just 1 hour and 24 minutes, or 1 hour and a little bit more because we didn't start on time. So Superflex, down the hatch, and we'll continue.